Michael, I read your story. Jack Dorsey's Twitter rival prepares to unleash 1 million people onto a new kind of social network.
Yes.
Okay, Twitter has undergone some drastic changes.
Big time.
That have probably left a bad taste in people's mouths.
Some people.
Do you still have your verification check mark?
No, I do not. Thank you for asking.
Me neither. How does that make you feel?
It's a double-edged feeling. It's a complicated feeling. I get the free market move to only give people what they pay for. But I do know that there's a lot of people that worked really hard for those. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't like giving to famous people just for being famous, but a lot of work that went into getting them. Mm-hmm. And I think I put myself in that category as somebody that worked really, really hard to get to the point where I got that blue check mark, and to have it taken away was a little disconcerting.
I imagine.
Yeah.
That's bad taste in your mouth.
It is. Yeah.
But this Twitter rival you mentioned, what puts it in the position, this is Blue Sky.
Yes.
What puts it in the position, in the running to actually be a rival? I see that you said it's preparing to have 1 million new users, but Twitter has, 450 million?
Depending on who you ask, somewhere between 250 and 500. Yeah. It's a difficult number because of all the bots and everything. But you're right. 1 million compared to all that is nothing. Mm-hmm. But there's a couple things that I think really kind of made this story resonate with me. First of all, they haven't launched yet. So this is 1.2 million people on a wait list. And they raised $13 million in venture capital, which at first glance seems like a tiny little amount of money. But a lot of companies with 13 million capital raised would kill for 1 million users before they even launch. So that's the first thing that kind of really makes it stand out to me. The second thing is the competitors in the decentralized social space are not traditional companies. So Nostr was built largely behind the scenes. This is another one of the big decentralized social competitors, Nostr. Nostr was built out of the spotlight in somebody's metaphorical basement, who we only know by their pseudonym, Fiat Joff, with no capital raised. And in fact, he did eventually end up receiving about $250,000 worth of Bitcoin from Jack Dorsey. And he's at 12 million users right now. That's 12 million users off $250,000 worth of Bitcoin. Now, Mastodon, another big competitor, has actually refused venture capital. Mm-hmm. And they're at 6.5 million users right now. So if money is the main measure, these two social networks that have fundamentally raised no money at all, with 6 million and 12 million. And then this other one that has raised $13 million has 1 million users before it's even launched. It seems to me that this is just the beginning of what could be a huge impact that the company is going to make in the space.
And does it being decentralized make a difference? Because honestly, my mom, she does not care about if her social media is decentralized. She doesn't care about that. As long as her church friends are on there, she's happy.
Great point. The current decentralized social networks are not user-friendly by our centralized traditional social media standards. They're slow-moving. Sometimes messages don't send the first time. It can be difficult to find people. It can be difficult to even log in. There's a little bit more responsibility as far as account creation. You have to really manage your own keys and make sure that you're making sure that your passwords are protected, or you could lose that. Blue Sky seems to have what it might take to solve some of those problems. I've had a chance to play around on all these apps, and right now the unlaunched version of Blue Sky operates very, very, very smoothly. So I think that the goal for all of these platforms is to eventually get to the point where our moms can use them without having to think twice about it. But there's another facet of that question that I think is worth exploring a little bit, which is that we care about who is on our social networks. That is maybe the number one biggest factor in what makes us decide which social network we're going to use. We go to where our friends are. We go to where our family is. We go to where our colleagues are. We build our relationships there. We have hundreds, thousands, some people millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions, if you're Elon Musk, followers on their social media accounts. And those groups of people are locked into those platforms. Now, that makes it really difficult to leave. If you're a mom whose family is already there, you're us with our colleagues there, you're somebody else with a musician with their fans, makes it really difficult to leave those social networks. But I think it's really important to ask that same question of the next generation of people, right? The next generation of people, their friends aren't on any social network because they don't exist yet. Their families aren't on any social network because they haven't been born yet. Like the next generation of social media users do not have an existing following anywhere. They're going to be starting from zero. And they're going to be asking themselves questions like, which one of these social networks is going to give me more freedom? Which one of these social networks is going to let me take my followers with me if I want to go to a competitor? And the answers to those questions are going to change over the years.